Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Bling Bling Jam YouTube station. And today I have no other than Roger Godin, who has been a friend and with me at Bling Bling Jam for most of the 10 years. One year he wasn't there, but he's always there, mostly. And as you guys know, the story, as I showed in my intro, how Bling Bling Jam started, I was coming to Vegas at other events, having balloon webinars, taking everybody out to the buffet. I had Roger there and I had Patrick and Janet, and we are doing like a virtual webinar before Zoom existed, along with live. And then I just said, who wants to come to Vegas? I had a room for 40 people, 103 showed up. So Roger was very much part of that at the very, very beginning. Can't believe it's 10 years old. Don't know what happened and how the time went. But I wanted you guys to get to know Roger. He's on my staff. I deliver things to me as my music and a few different other things, and we so appreciate him. And sometimes he twists balloons as well at Bling Bling Jam. And it's great. He's not, an actual instructor, but he's part of the staff. And I know that I'm doing a lot of these interviews with the instructors, but I want everybody to know everybody involved as much as possible. And I want you to start off with on Roger as to who he is, how his balloon career started, what else he does for entertainment. Okay. And he is originally from Massachusetts. We are the same age, believe it or not. We have a few other things in common as well, which we'll get to, like our stage name. But anyway, very similar. But anyway, Roger, originally
Yes.
from Massachusetts and now in Vegas. Take it away. Let me know how you started your balloon career, what led you into balloons, what your business name is, how long you've been in Vegas, and whatever else you want to say.
Okay. Well, it's kind of confusing. Not always sure where to start. My short story of how I got into balloons is I was selling round helium balloons at a state fair, and they put me next to this science exhibit, and there was a massive explosion, and I woke up with the hospital with superpowers, and now I can make balloons. No, that's not how it happened. Uh, I I loved magic as a child. I got a little bit into magic as an adult. I didn't really have any mentors back then, and I was shopping at a Sam's Club. I think it was like 888 or 999. It was a balloon twisting kit with a little teeny tiny pump and some balloons and a little book of instructions. And I thought, you see those balloon doggies on television, but I never saw one in real life. And so I'm like, I'm gonna buy that, because it kind of fit with the magic and the art. I've always been doing some kind of art, graphic art, woodworking art, photography art. There's always something art I was always doing. And so I, played with it. Yeah, I can make a balloon dog. That's pretty cool. I saw Lovebirds on a Heart. Somebody had it in a car. I was at a red light and it's like, that's a balloon and it's a heart with a lovebird. And I didn't have anyone to teach me. So I found a book that had that and I bought the book just to learn that one simple Lovebirds on a Heart. It's still one of my favorite simple balloons. Then I was at a restaurant and I saw a monkey on a palm tree and it was a hat. And my mind just exploded like, it's three balloons and it's a hat. And like, wow. So I started inquiring and I met a local age talent agent, Michelle Rothstein. Some of you might know her.
Yes.
She used to be more involved in the balloon community in the old days. She's more of a philanthropist and age and I just background agent now. She lets her staff handle most of that work. But that was my first break in the balloon business. It's been 22 years, 23rd year this October. First time was Halloween, and I couldn't believe I made tips and I got paid for the 2 hours I was there. I couldn't believe just doing a few simple balloons, and I was able to actually make some money. And I started working part time with that. That was almost 23 years ago. And so it was October. So then in February 2002, I got the 9/11 layoff from the real job because everyone was, laying everybody off and after 9/11. And I called her up. I said, hey, I just got laid off. I said, can I have more work? She said, you could have all you want. You want to do that Saturday party I asked you about? I said, yeah, I don't have to go to work anymore. So within a month's time, I was making the same amount of money part time as I was full time, which is kind of amazing and the flexibility that entertaining gives us. And then she asked me, said, I have a client that needs a magic show. You mentioned you do a little magic. She said, could you put a show together? And I thought, Yeah, I think so. So I pulled out all my magic stuff out of the closets and I put together what became my first show. Still been doing magic shows at parties ever since. And I started in the beginning. I called myself Roger the Balloon Guy because for what why else? I'm very humble, I guess. And I met another Roger in Las Vegas, and on his cards it says Roger the Balloon Guy. So it's like it's already been taken, and I don't want to go by that living in the same city. So since I did magic, I came up the Balloon Wizard, and because of the Balloon Wizard, I crossed paths with Steve at I think it was the first time in LA, Steve.
I might have been. I might have been before that. I knew of
Yeah,
you.
yeah, well,
Uh,
we crossed paths, got chit chatting a couple of times. You're from
yes,
Massachusetts. I'm from Massachusetts. You're
yes,
born in July of '68. I'm born in July of '68.
right,
So kind of we didn't know each other growing up, but we had similar, New England growing up experiences.
yes. And
And
even when I had gigs, you've had emails. I'm Mr. Balloon Wizard. He's the
yeah,
Balloon Wizard.
I've been
And
called a couple
clients.
times. They're looking for Steve. Uh, my
That's so
favorite
funny.
call, I don't know how they found me.
Yeah,
They were in Hawaii, and I'm like, okay, I have to charge a little bit more,
yeah,
but they realized that they weren't going to hire somebody that lives in Las Vegas for a Hawaiian gig.
right.
But hey, yeah, if you get meet the right person, you never know.
Yeah,
But anyways, yeah, I can do the Las Vegas Valley. What's nice about our valley, you can get anywhere in Las Vegas in half an hour. So if you get a lot of gigs on a day on a weekend day, usually you can get to everybody without too much trouble. So that's why you have friends that also do balloons and face painting and other things. So you can call up somebody when you can't do something. And, you know, I'm fortunate, for at least in my world, people aren't very overly competitive, like, well, but no, they just work together. You can't do all the gigs because Saturday is only 24 hours. And that's, of course, where most of our work
yeah.
falls on a
Now
Saturday.
you do different things. I know you do the magic, like you
Is
said,
that
and
good
the
enough?
balloons. What was that?
Was that enough of a backstory of how?
No, no, it's good. I have a couple questions for it now, if
Yeah,
that's okay. So no,
sure.
it's great. I don't know if you have a particular focus that you want to get focused on through balloons and or magic now, but in terms of like that it's interested you lately. I know that we kind of take gigs all over the place, whether it's restaurants or show, whatever it is. But I know you also do the Star Trek convention. I know I helped you before with a big build at that a while back, and it was a lot of fun.
That
Uh,
was the 50th
coming up.
anniversary. I appreciated that help.
Oh no, no, I was
That,
a
that was
pleasure.
that was a giant enterprise. It took a total of 18 hours with
It was a
help.
lot of fun. Yeah.
And no, it wasn't. It was a nightmare.
Well, I liked
Well,
it.
I don't usually work in that larger scale,
Yeah.
so you don't think about the weight and the
Yeah.
buckling. Aaron Doc Hay helped me. I
Yeah.
had Meyer Goldstein came out of retirement to help me for a few hours, and this year I'm making a giant board cube. I'm getting really, really
Yeah.
big. I'm going to do a partial test piece at Bling Bling. So
Right.
hopefully any Trekkies out there can give me any pointers.
Yeah.
Uh,
Is that gonna be
but
back at the Rio again?
it's back at the Rio. I
Great.
missed a year over there. I guess I started there about 10 years ago.
Yeah, it was a while ago when we did it.
Yeah,
So
but I didn't do every year because for some reasons they decided they didn't want it, or one year they had to prove at a different location. They just didn't have the room for their entertainers. I
yeah.
reached out with them last year and they were, oh, we're so happy you called us back. And I rounded up my face painter friend and my caricature artist friend that had done it in the past because we're all kind of Trekkies nerds in that way. And
Yeah.
well, you want to fit, you want to be able to make what people expect. So
Exactly.
it's good that we have a understanding of the lore and the mythology of the
Yeah.
Star Trek
And
universe.
Janet's worked that with you too, correct?
Janet even worked at the Star Trek Experience, so
Yeah. Excellent.
Janet has some acting experience. So
Right.
I was so jealous. I applied there like 3 or 4 times, but
Yeah.
I didn't have any acting experience. But we do balloons and magic is a performance art. It's not exactly the same. Here I
Yeah.
said not exactly. Hear me, Natalie. Not exactly the same, but it's similar. Performing in front of camera, in front of people, is a lot like acting, if not the
Yeah.
same.
So let me ask you this. Uh at where you're at right now in your life. right?
Mhm.
And you're 20 something years in of career, okay, in balloons. What have you not done that you want to do, or where, or is there a specific focus that you want to do with the balloons moving forward?
Well, about 15 years ago, I met a ventriloquist,
Yeah.
and a real nice lady. Her name is Nancy Roth. She thinks she lives in Florida now, but
Hmm.
she was kind of like my first ventriloquist friend slash mentor. And I just really me, I could do that because I was always enamored about. I built a puppet show, not ventriloquist puppet show, but a puppet show, and haven't done that too much in more recent years. But I have some puppets. I do practice the event. I do know the basics of it. I did go to one vent convention. I expected it to be more like our Bling Bling, where lots of hands-on instruction. Unfortunately, a lot of ventriloquism work is done in the privacy of your own home and a lot of personal practice. It's a lot of practice, way more than balloons.
Yeah.
Just I have a daughter who's 19. I have a wife, a lot of home responsibilities. So trying to juggle it all sometimes it is challenging. And the entertaining did make it possible for me to run the household, take care of the daughter, get her to school, do all those things, and then work at nights and weekends. So it was a good fit during those years. Getting within about a decade of retirement, don't know when I'm going to stop doing magic. I'll probably always do magic. Sometimes the hands get a little angry with the too much balloon twisting.
Yeah.
Uh, in the asking about the future, I think I would like to move a little bit maybe towards puppetry, ventriloquism, and magic, and give the fingers a break because
Yeah.
we're
Or
all
a
getting
balloon
older.
show?
We're all
Well,
getting older.
yeah.
Uh, I'm thinking of changing my name to Grandpa G. So but maybe not right away. But
Grandpa G.
yeah,
You
it's
could
a
do an act with Grandma V.
it's an inside joke. They were supposed to get that without me
Oh,
explaining.
got it. Okay.
Yeah, that
That's
was that.
funny. Aye, aye, aye. That's funny. Well,
So,
that's
but yeah,
great,
I
Roger.
sometimes
Yeah.
I was about to say I sometimes teach the beginner class. So,
Yes. Yeah, we
so,
appreciate that. We're going to
so,
get into that in a minute about Bling, but this is about you right now.
so
So,
about
yes. So that's great. And maybe with the different classes and shows, and we do have a little segment of magic at Bling Bling every year, as you know, maybe some of that you can get inspired and create those shows. Nick is really a great person to chat with about shows, and he always says we're all getting older.
the lunatic Nick.
Yes, and he does great with the shows because you get to more people, and that's so true. And it's about the entertainment value, which I know you understand, Roger. And that's great. So that's great. Well, excited to hear more about that and where you're going with that. And I think that's great, great, great stuff. Anything else you wanted to add about your particular balloon magic career that you're doing for clients or anything else about that? Anything else that
Well,
you
Biscuit Bunny passed away a few months ago.
Oh,
He was 7,
I'm so
and
sorry.
rabbits don't have a long lifespan. I hear
Yeah,
some
what
people say you
rabbit
could
was
take the
it?
I'm sorry.
What
He
kind of
was a
rabbit was
he
it?
was a Dalmatian Rex, I believe is his
Okay.
category with my research brought me.
Yeah.
And I hear about people living there for 10 or 15 years. I don't know what they're doing. They're giving them vitamins or something.
Yeah.
But I've talked to other people like they are, yeah, 5 years, yeah, rabbit, 5 years, 5 years. And yeah, every 5 years I have to get a new rabbit. Like really, I got 7 out of mine. But
Yeah.
now in Nevada, a lot of people dumped so many bunnies and it's a problem. So now you can't buy a bunny unless it's already been fixed. And
Oh,
I don't really want to pay $300 to fix a $50 animal that lives only 5 years. I mean, maybe I'm just a cheapskate or not doing that much to kind of make it worth it. Uh,
I
this year I was kind of evaluating. It's like the care that we put into this animal and the amount of shows I'm getting. It's just not there, even though he brings down the house. It's my production box, put in a balloon, I pop the balloon, bunny's there, kids go wild, they love it, they always want to pet him after the show, and they line up and very quietly pet the bunny. But yeah, I have to do without use that as a crutch because that just the show is perfect, right? The bunny, you're done. You can do anything else you have to
Yeah.
work on that. But I've worked with a master class with Jeff McBride, with Master Magician in the Business. I am a much better magician and performer thanks to Jeff McBride. So if anyone
Yeah.
ever takes a master class, that he's definitely one. And he was at another twisting convention. I won't mention its
Yeah.
name, but he did a master class there uh, more than 10 years ago. That's when Steve and I really got talking,
Yes.
and before he started the Bling Bling.
It was definitely more than 10 years. It was Bling Bling Jam's 10 years old. It
Maybe
was before
12,
that.
maybe
Yeah.
12, maybe 12 years ago.
Yeah.
This was
A little
Boston.
more. Yeah. I think it was like 14 or 15.
12, 13 years ago in Boston.
Yeah. Vlad was living in Boston at the time. Trust me, it was a long time ago. He was there at that event. Yeah. But that's great. Yeah. No, it's great.
So yeah, with like I said, what really got our conversation going is we were both calling ourselves the Balloon Wizard, and if he's
Mister.
gonna,
Yeah.
if he's, well, he had to add Mister,
Yeah.
but because I live in Las Vegas, well, guess who gets to play warehouse, and that's me.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yes.
I do behind the scene
Yeah. We're gonna get
things.
into that in a second. Yeah. Yeah.
Anyone at the convention, I am at your disposal. At your
Yeah. Thank
service. That's
you.
what
Thank you.
I like to
Was there
say.
anything else, Rod, you want to say about your career? We'll go right into the
About
convention
my
now.
career, well, I do work in finance, so I can
Yeah.
help you save for the future.
Yeah.
Uh, everyone
This is
has more
about
than
the
one job.
entertainment. Yeah.
Everyone has
Yeah.
more than one job,
Yeah.
and that's I'm trying to have that balance between entertainment and other careers.
Yeah.
Because I still have at least more 10 years till retirement years. So,
Sure.
anyways, that's
Sure.
that's me. So.
Okay, so let's talk about Bling Bling Jam. And yes, you are my so-called warehouse, and you do my music and stuff like that, and different things, and we so appreciate that.
Transportation,
Yeah, we bounce you when we have other people to bounce as
cargo.
well. Yeah. So with that said, you mentioned that sometimes you do a beginner class, and I know you help this year. I don't know that John Holmes is going to make it, unfortunately, but we do have Roger in there. I'm sorry, you are Roger, Patrick in there, and sometimes you
Patrick.
jump in there. We appreciate that. It's always great and grand. And when you teach the beginner classes, you always meet people where they're at, of course. So there's not a lot to say about that, which we understand, but we appreciate it. And this year, and I'm going to repeat myself, we have three different balloon brands. We don't know um, what's happening with Qualitex anyway, because they stopped production. Because All
They
American,
have stock production.
that's what I understand. And again, don't quote me on anything. I'm just going by what I've heard. I don't buy their balloons anyway right now. I haven't in a while. So I don't, but we do have a vendor that had sold them. However, we are focusing on the brands that we work with at Bling Bling Jam, and they are Vitalik, and they are Decomex coming for the first time, and Elitech coming for the first time. So we're excited about that. So in terms of variety and good quality balloons, they'll be available in the jam room for people to try. And with that said, why do you think people should come to Bling Bling Jam? As a twister or a decorator or an entertainer. In your words, what I know that sometimes you're working, but you observe things and you see how things go. So let everybody know.
Yeah. Well, and I have to admit, I know what balloons get the best reaction for me, the designs that I like, my favorite designs, which always work. I know what little boys like, know what little girls like at different ages. Sometimes they're wearing something, like shoes or a shirt. And so you can like, how about a cool surprise? In fact, my best advice is always offer a cool surprise. And say it that way too, because you can get that means it gives you the ability to make what you want and also show off your best stuff because we all have our best stuff. And if you don't have enough best stuff, or there is no such thing as too much best stuff. So if you don't come to a convention, just to interact with other people, I mean, I started making my swords with a double braid on one and then a nice big fat 350 handle. And someone just put a round on the bottom and like the jewel on the bottom of a sword, and like well, that's a pretty good looking sword.
Yeah.
Uh, One clown convention, I switched my one balloon sword, Mister the Hat, Patrick, Mr. the Pat the Hat. He wraps it
Oh, he's
around.
going to be with us this year, by the way.
Oh, great, Pat's coming. I haven't seen him in
I
a while.
understand. Yeah.
But anyway, I went to a clown convention in Laughlin years ago, and they used to have
Yeah.
what they call Twister Tuesday, and I learned that's the only thing I got out of that one, but I've used it ever since. So you might
Oh,
get
awesome.
that. Sometimes you may only get one new really great, amazing balloon, or
Yeah.
oh, to make the eyes that way, or to make the ears that way, or to make the feet that way, or to make the tail that way, or sometimes all you need is an inspiration. And now with all so many pictures on the internet, oh, I need to make a da da da. And so you type in rhinoceros or whatever you have to make today, and you could find a few
Yeah.
samples. And not so much to copy, but just to look at a picture like, oh, yeah, I just do a bird body roll through. And oh, I'll add this part. I like making my wings this way. And next thing you know, you've made your own design just with a tiny bit of inspiration off a photograph. Now, not everyone can do that, but you could always get that hands-on at a convention where
Yeah.
you get people that are, I don't know how some people come up with these things. I mean, the minds that they have. Uh, one of my favorite, I guess one of my favorite artists, I won't mention their name. They're coming in, and I'm always glad because I just like the way this particular artist approaches things.
Why not mention their name?
Oh, okay, let me get JJ. I love
Mention their
JJ's work.
name. Yes.
It's
They love you too.
practical.
Yeah.
Holly's a doll. I
Yes.
have
They'll
my own
appreciate that.
Holly. So when I see Holly, I think of my Holly. So because
Of
it's the
course.
name of my, because it's our family's daughter's
Right.
name, and I've had them meet, and they're sweet together. So
Yes.
it's always good to see people you haven't seen in a while, especially these people as talented as JJ and his
Yes.
wife Holly.
Yeah.
So yeah, always looking for, and I guess oh gosh, who's coming this year? He's a magician too. Older
Um,
gentleman.
older gentleman who's a magician too. Hmm.
He was here a few years ago, and he's coming this year. He had a rabbit that lived 20 years for some reason.
Hmm.
The name is just
You mean Mickey
no
Silver?
Jeff,
No.
not Mickey Silver. He's a balloon artist too.
Balloon artist, magician.
Damon, Damon,
Oh,
Billy.
Billy Damon. Oh, yes, yes,
Billy
yes. Billy Damon's coming. And
Sorry, my
yep,
brain
yep,
was
yep.
slow.
He sure is.
But yeah, I had heard of them through our mutual friend Jeff McBride, and I've got
Yes.
to meet Billy. And Billy's an amazing performer and artist. I was
Yeah.
glad I was able to meet him, and I helped him and Jeff, get together. They hadn't seen each other in over a decade, so
Sure.
it's always good to catch up. Remember one event I did some years ago was for one of the big insurance companies at our Rebel football stadium, and every entertainer in Las Vegas was there. They hired jugglers, magicians, face painters, balloon artists, and it was like this big reunion. You had all
Right.
these people talking to each other. I haven't seen you in 5 years, 10 years. So it's kind of funny. We all live in this city of entertainers, but we don't always see each
Of
other.
course.
But it's kind of you get those huge events where we're kind of all there, and that's what's great about it. At
That's
least
great.
my little town is everyone. There's really no
What did you
cutthroat
say? What did you say? Vibe
competition.
at the time? What was the word you used? You
Uh,
said vibe?
Vibe.
No, what was the word you said? You used something in the town. I thought it said you said
Well,
vibe in the
some people are more are competitive. They don't want to
Oh,
work with other people, and I don't
right.
know what the vibe of Las Vegas, maybe that's what I said, is we work together. There's plenty of
Yeah.
work here. It's a very big city.
Yeah.
It's good to know people because if somebody calls you, if you have someone else that they need, or they might need a skill that you don't have, and that way
Right.
you call up your friend or a colleague, and you get them a gig, and they'll think, oh,
Yeah.
so and so gave me that gig, and they might
And that's
reciprocate.
the networking that
Yeah, it's
collaboratively we've all been talking about these interviews. Uh,
right. So
Bling
I
also brings those relationships where you can
in my
talk to people.
in
Yeah.
my other job, which I won't talk about,
Yeah. It's okay.
we are not competitive. We support
Yeah.
each other. Work with together. We
Yeah.
share experiences to get better. So if you want to get better, if you just can't stay home and watch YouTube, you need to
Yeah.
come and be with other artists. Everyone is nothing to be ashamed of if you're a beginner, an intermediate, or advanced.
Of
We
course.
all have our own style. Some people it's a hard time remembering things. Sometimes they need to see a sample. I mean, but don't My point is, don't be embarrassed. If it's something, if it's a piece you really like, you just have to work on it,
Yeah.
and you don't forget you have your time. If you're usually we get hired by the hour, so you want to make things fit. So if you want to get those balloons that fit your style, your technique, your everything, come to Bling Bling. That's
Yeah.
the best
We,
way to
and
get
you
them.
said it so right. There's nothing to be embarrassed about from anybody at our event. We're all like Roger said. Everybody's very approachable. It's not like the how should I say this, the segue of you're at the gym and that all the muscle heads are making fun of you. It's not like that atmosphere. No one's judging anybody at Bling Bling Jam. We're all just there to help. And I think that was a good segue into that. So nothing to be embarrassed about is correct. That's great, Roger. Well, we appreciate you. We appreciate all that. And any I think you just said it all, right?
I hope so.
Okay, yeah, you did. You did. You did great. So awesome, everybody. Well, you'll meet Roger at the Bling Bling Jam. Make sure that you put a like up there and show him some love and a comment. He'll appreciate it. And Roger does step it into the jam room, the beginner jam room as well. And yes, we always have we call it a donation. If not that anyway, has to get them, but he'll have some DVDs as well that we'll talk about at Bling Bling Jam as well. And that's it. So everybody again, hope you enjoy this. Put a comment and a like, and let's bling it on. Thank you so much, Roger. Over and out.
Thanks, Steve. Bye.
Bye.